Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial, and today I will be helping you guys fixing some GUI issues and more because a lot of you guys have commented script wasn't working, so I will put the functions in the description. By the way, I have found my YouTube park thing that I've done in my first video, so now that I found this, I can actually continue. I already moved the functions to the script. Make sure the script is exactly under the text label. As you can see right here, it has to be right under the text label. I will leave this in the description so you could copy and paste this into the script under the text label. So as you see, what I have already left off last time, this was not animated. I'm gonna leave the countdown right here with the textbox.text, and if you don't remember, that was a value we made. Textbox is script.Parent, which means the parent of the script, which is TextLabel, which is holding it. And then if we do textbox, because that's the same way as saying script.Parent, so if we say textbox, it's the same thing. And then .text, we're going in the properties and going to the text, and we're just changing it every time. But the setText function, I kind of already explained it. We're not going to be talking about that. We're just going to be talking about how you can make it visible and non-visible, because a lot of you guys are asking me how to make it not visible and visible. So I will tell you how to do it right now. So first, as you see, we already have like this right here. We're going to make this not visible for now. Here, just go to the select the frame under the screen GUI we've created in one of our previous videos, and then we're gonna uncheck visible, and then we're gonna have the script make it visible. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna do script.Parent.visible equals true. So now that's telling us that the parent of the parent, which is right here, this is the parent of the script, that is visible, that has all the components in it, is true. So it also checks the visible itself, and now the frame is visible, and now we'll be able to see it. So now if you want it to not be visible, first let's do a message. Of course, like I have already done, but like remember, I just found this, so I kind of have to rescript a couple of things. But what you gotta do now, put in any message you want, and welcome to YouTube Park. Okay, so that's just an example. You don't have to say that. Just say whatever you want, especially, you know, if it's your game. And then, of course, you want to set a wait time after it. See how long they'll read it. I'm just gonna give you some refreshing reminders, because I don't want you guys to have to go all the way back to the other video and have me explain it again when I can just do it right here. So I'm gonna zoom in so y'all can see better, and then what we're gonna do wait 3 seconds. So we're gonna give the people some time to read this message, and after that we're gonna make it the thing to disappear, which y'all have been asking me. So let's kind of create a variable. So let's just say local frame equals script.Parent.Parent. So now instead of saying script.Parent.Parent.visible equals true, we could just say frame.visible equals true, because it is the same way as saying this. So now we're gonna go back down and continue over here. So we're gonna do frame.visible equals false. So after those 3 seconds of reading it, it's gonna be false. If we want to say another message, we could just do a wait time in between. I'm gonna do a 2-second wait time, and then I'm gonna do frame.visible equals true. And then once you do that, just set your other message right after that, and I'm gonna say let's just say today we are going to explore the wilderness of the forest. I almost put that in caps, because, you know, I have a game titled The Forest, and a game title should always be caps, but should be capitalized and properly. Anyways, I'm just gonna kind of zoom out a bit so y'all can read this. Alright, so this is a longer message, so I'm gonna have the players read it for 4 seconds. And we're gonna do frame.visible equals false, And then of course just do exactly what we've done before, a wait time between when you want this to be visible again. By the way, remember that time when we did like the blind thing over here? We're going to fix this as well as how we did wait 30 seconds until this. This was kind of inaccurate. I'm gonna make a better version of this. I'm actually gonna continue using this method instead of like what people say, like the 3-line thingy. I got a lot of comments this could just be in 3 lines. It's pretty glitchy sometimes. I've tried it. It'll work, but sometimes it won't work, and it's very confusing, and this is sometimes the only way to make it work. We're going to be using this, but we're going to simplify this instead of having to use this every time we want it to fade out. Now, what we want to do, first, we kind of don't need the blind, so we're going to delete the blind, take the frame out of there, and then put this script inside this frame right here. And then we don't need this script anymore, the one that's under background. We're going to have this controlled by the script that's under the text label that controls the text right here. So now what we're going to do, if we want the fade out to be optional and to be simplified, what we can do, let's just go right here. Let's go above the values. We're going to copy and paste that, right? But what you want to do is you can leave the local blind there, but we're gonna skip a line under it, and then we're gonna do function fade out, and then just call it whatever you want. I'm gonna call it blind, and then now you see an end. The keyword end has appeared. That's a very important keyword, especially when it comes to making functions and stuff similar to that. Right now what we're going to do, we're going to actually have this copy this end to the end of this, to where this ends. So we're going to go all the way to where 0 is, and then we're going to do end. And then now that we have typed in end, it's now everything is grouped under here. Yeah, so now this is a function. Now in order to use this function, let's change a couple of stuff. We can take out blind. Now blind is undefined here. Now we're going to define it right now. To use the fade out function, we're going to choose when to use it. Now we're going to use the function fade out, and then now it says blind, right? But now that we deleted what it meant, it doesn't know what blind is. So in order to tell the script what blind is, we have to do in the parentheses of fade out script.Parent.Parent. And now that we have done the script.Parent.Parent, it recognizes that the blind is talking about the frame above the text label. This is going to be a bit too long because as you see the background is all the way over here, and that's going to be like parent 4 times and then here. So what we're going to do, we're going to kind of shorten this a little bit. Over here we're going to do local background equals script.Parent.Parent.Parent.background, which is where I put mine, which is where you should put yours too. And then now in the fade out function, we're going to put background. The function knows that we're defining blind as the background that we made. Now let's just test this to be sure that it works properly as intended. So as you see, we have our little countdown, and then we should have the text animation. By the way, don't judge my avatar. I just use Roblox promo codes. And as you see, everything's working like we did in the last tutorial on animating text. As you see, it is now not visible. Today we're going to explore the wilderness of the forest. Okay, so now that, and then now, as you see, it is beginning to fade out just like we defined it to do. So yeah guys, that's how you make that fade out. We are not done with the video. We are going to do a fade in function as well. Like I said before, I highly recommend having over about 200 lines of this that is not glitchy at all, than only 3 lines of something that is pretty glitchy, if you know what I mean. So we're gonna copy that function and paste the entire function, but now we're gonna do change fade out to fade in. We're gonna change things backwards. So if you want, you guys can watch me change this, and I'll be back shortly. Alright, so now that we have finished this, I know it takes a long time to do, but hey, it ends up being worth it at the end, alright? So now, as you see, we have made the opposite, and then we have done the fade in function. Now, also in this tutorial, we are also going to be showing you how to change the lighting in a game. As you see, it is daylight. Of course, adjust the lighting to what you want. I have my brightness set at 2. My ambient around gray. I'm gonna have mine around gray. And then we're going to you can change the fog color to whatever you want. Fog end, fog, whatever. But we're gonna have the script control this, so when it fades out, it changes to night. So what we want to do here, we're gonna do local lighting equals game.lighting. And then now what we're gonna do lighting.clock time equals 0. And then if you want it to be foggy, you can do lighting.fog end equals 300. Lighting.ambient equals color3.fromRGB. I don't use color3.new because that's kind of buggy as well, but this works. You could do what color you want. I want it to be like a kind of bluish, like pitch blue night, you know, like it's very pretty. So I'm going to do, so for red 0, for green 0, and then for blue, I'd say a good 20. And then now what we want to do, fade in. I think I've spelt fade in wrong. And there's fade in. I actually put fade in. Okay. So now what we want to do fade in. And then of course background, which is what we defined earlier. And then it's gonna fade in, and then after that we can make frame.visible equals true, which is also what we defined earlier. And then we're gonna put another message. I'll just say night has arose. That'll just be an example. And then I want them to read that for 3 seconds, and then frame.visible equals false. So now let's dive right into the game and see what progression we have done. So we have our lovely countdown. So now, you know, the game is working. And then now it should fade out and then fade in again. We will work on top bar later. And then now you see as it fades in, it has become night. Night has arose. So now it is night, and you know, everything's ready. You see? So yeah guys, this was the Roblox scripting tutorial. I really hope you enjoyed this. Put a comment down below for any suggestions on what you want to learn and what I should do for you. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate you, and subscribe if you haven't done that yet, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later!